Good morning. How are you today? Good, good, awesome. Welcome to Introduction to Psychology. So we've been talking about brain development and our behavior. We shared about our story while you are driving, how your brain is activating, right? So I'm going to give you time at the end of today's lecture too. So you will have a time to wrap it up and, be ready to present to yours with your partner, okay? So we kind of stop here. Do you remember? Yeah, last Tuesday we stop here. We talk about autonomic nervous system. Yeah. So under that, two different system. Sympathetic nervous system, yeah, more like a fight or flight, yeah, kind of emergency situation. So your eyes kind of dilated and also your lung capacity is kind of maximized and maybe heartbeat is kind of keep going and this is not the time to digest or eat food, right? So kind of hold and you're sweating. Yeah, those are sympathetic nervous system is activating more like a fight or flight. If somebody grab you behind you at the pitch dark night, what would be your reaction? Some of you may run away fast as much as possible. And some of you want to punch that person, right? So fight or flight, that system will be activating sympathetic nervous system division. And parasympathetic, it's kind of opposite. So maybe we supposed to feel like a parasympathetic right now, kind of relaxed and everything will be fine. And you made today's class. It's a rainy day, kind of a little gloomy and foggy day, but I'm so glad you are here. So it's going to be a fun class and I prepared some props today, so we will experience together. So more like a parasympathetic, oh, it was nothing and everything will be fine. At the IHOP, you order pancake and, waffles and, several biscuit and having good time. So that's the time your eyes like a pupils, yeah, kind of, constrict and lung capacity is like a decrease and your heartbeat is decreased too and your stomach and intestine maybe go back to normal. Maybe this is time to eat your pancake. Yeah, and sweating is not much. Yeah, those are parasympathetic nervous system. So we will go to the next one here. So endocrine system. We've been talking about so far like neurons. How do they communicate to each other? And we will talk a little bit about endocrine system, which is those glands. The set of glands that send hormones throughout the body through bloodstream. So pituitary gland, those are right there. So we call it underline master gland. Master gland controls other different kind of gland and produce human growth hormone. So people say, maybe when you're young, you'd better go to sleep early because growth hormone will be secret. People say usually between 10 to 3. Yeah, like a 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. So you'd better sleep, go to bed, sleep, maybe around 9 and 9:30 and have a good deep sleep until like 3 and 4 a.m. So I know maybe some of you have a really tall height. Did you have a good sleep when you were young? Yeah, sleeping is relating with your growth hormone secreting too. So those are pituitary gland is a mastery gland to kind of control other gland too. And pineal gland, which is like right there. Those are suprachiasmatic nucleus. We are going to talk about it next chapter. Those are relating with the secreting melatonin. Anybody, you have a hard time to sleep? So sometimes you need to take the melatonin. Yeah, that's the name of the medicine. But actually, our body, we produce melatonin. Yeah, those suprachiasmatic nucleus, those are relating with located in the hypothalamus. Yeah, so it's really sensitive to the light. So at nighttime, everything is dark and our body naturally secretes our melatonin. So this is time to go to bed and have a deep sleep. Melatonin will be secreted. And in the early morning, and sunshine will come, and those pituitary gland, the pineal gland say, oh, it's stop secreting melatonin because it's nighttime. So you don't need to have those melatonin. You don't need to feel sleepy, right? Yeah. So those are naturally happening, produce melatonin hormone relating with also serotonin and other functions too. But we are going to talk more about those gland system later too. But remember and underline pituitary gland, those are more like a mastery gland, control other gland too. And also relating with our growth hormone. Yeah, growth hormone and pineal gland and pineal gland. It's relating with your sleeping and serotonin function. So kind of secreting those melatonin and stop secreting melatonin in the morning. Yeah, those are function. And thyroid to produce hormone that relating with metabolism. Anybody you have some problem like a metabolic system, so you need to take the medicine relating with the thyroid. Yeah, some people. Yeah, so in that case, sometimes it's really hard to find the right amount of medicine. Yeah, if you take certain medicine, adjusting time, you become very thin and thin and thin. Yeah, because metabolism is too much kind of activating. And sometimes you are become little kind of obese and obese and obese. Yeah, kind of slower your metabolic system. So try to find a good amount of medicine can be really challenging. Yeah, those are relating with your metabolism. And adrenaline, those gland is relating with your stress. Yeah, so adrenaline is pumping up. That means big game is out there, or you're very nervous in front of people to present your big speech. Yeah, so those are right above kidney. It's relating with produce adrenaline, relating with your stress. Yeah, stress hormone. And also we have ovary and testes relating with produced testosterone and estrogen. It's influence your sexual development and those drive. So we kind of gently touching those concepts, but remember pituitary gland and pineal gland and adrenal gland, that would be good. Yeah, but we will talk more detailed information later on. Okay. So we explained here. Let's look at the inside of our brain. Yeah. So today is kind of this is like a last part of this chapter 2. So we will see the inside of our brain. How does it function and using those special technology. So first one is EEG, electroencephalography. When you sleep, yeah, when you wear those EEG device, they're gonna show brain activity. So where you have like a shallow sleep and deep sleep and kind of light sleep, it will measure. It's not aggressive measurement, which means even like an infant, they can wear those device and then we can check the infant brain wave. Yeah, those are EEG. And CT, computed tomography, CT. So you heard about maybe CT, right? So if you broke your arm, maybe go to hospital and doctor said, maybe we need to have X-ray. Yeah, X-ray, yeah. But CT is more like a detailed X-ray, yeah. So I will go one by one. And MRI and PET and functional MRI. So on the line, those PET and functional MRI, those two, you can see not only those structure where you kind of cut your bone and broken your bone, not only those in a structure, you can also see function. How does it work? Like lively, like when we are watching a movie. Because certain area is less activating and more activating, the color will show to you. So comparing to others, PET and functional MRI, that one is you can see those function of your brain, inside of your brain. But I'm going to mention one more time. So starting from the EEG, so if you wear those EEG device, yeah, it will show brain activity. And, especially maybe if you have some sleeping problem. Yeah, maybe doctor order, maybe EEG. So try to kind of, show maybe shallow sleep and light sleep, deep sleep and REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. So they're going to check for you. and then maybe give some medicine and some suggestions for those, your sleeping pattern. And CT, you broke your arm, go to the hospital and said maybe X-ray. But somehow X-ray cannot see those clearly because it's really some fragile moment. So in that sense, more 3D X-ray, that's kind of a CT. Yeah, CT, so they're going to ask, maybe you need to take the CT. Yeah, so those are one of the way. See the inside of your bone and your structure. So MRI, so it's the same thing, more like a detailed. Your brain, maybe you have some brain injury, they want to order like an MRI and try to take the picture but see the structure. But PET is a little different. You can see the structure, but when you injected radioactive sugar injected in your body, you see like little differences here. It's activating and you can see the function too. So those kind of yellow part, yeah, and red and yellow part is more active. Yeah, activating more, clearly, yeah, more active comparing to those blue and dark area of your brain. So doctor will say, maybe you can see like a red dot on the left side. That means, oh, that's something maybe going on. Yeah, it's maybe too much activation is going on. So they can kind of tell and try to see maybe some maybe injected this other maybe medicine and try to help you. So those are function. You can see not only the structure, you can see the function because of those different colored area. So here, this is really interesting. I mean, lots of studies done with the PET scan and also functional MRI. And people realize mother's mind, curious. So is there any difference, mothers versus non-mothers, maybe the typical people? They realize those mothers showed an overactive limbic system. Do you remember the limbic system? Limbic system is kind of in the middle part of your brain, hypothalamus, amygdala, relating with your fearful emotion and motivation, and hippocampus. Those area is overactive. So probably they are emotionally sensitive, but too sensitive. Maybe feeling like too, maybe revenge, like maybe too much, like a hyperactive of revenge, maybe anger issues. Yeah, because those areas like overactive comparing to other people. Yeah, and also underactive prefrontal cortex. Anybody you remember the function of prefrontal cortex? Cortex, like a frontal cortex. Yeah, so make you like a special as a human being. So make a decision and organizing skill and critical thinking. Those part is less active, underactive. Yeah, I think it kind of makes sense. Yeah, because they're very overactive limbic system, but less kind of underactive prefrontal lobe. Yeah, so they kind of showing those structure and function of their brain. But we cannot trust only PET scan or functional MRI to judge somebody else, right? But we need to be careful, but I think that's really interesting data. So here, functional MRI, fMRI, so not only you see the structure, but also the function of your brain. So maybe measuring, think about your maybe boyfriend and girlfriend. Maybe think about your grandma who suffers some cancer. So whenever people think about certain, their emotion, showing their emotion and thought, it will activating certain part of the brain. So doctors will kind of measure, which part is kind of more function or not. So those are functional MRI. So we are going to watch one short YouTube clip and maybe talk about, it's really interesting, because of high technology, now everything is possible and it's maybe we need to study more, but we are going to watch short video clip, okay?
Advances in technology are changing the way we understand brain activity and diagnosing potentially deadly mental health disorders. Suicide is one of the leading causes of death in the United States, according to the CDC. As part of Mental Health Awareness Month, Nikki Batiste shows us how researchers are using brain scans to spot harmful thoughts. Nikki, good morning.
Good morning, Don. Good morning, everyone. We visited Carnegie Mellon University to take a look at research led by psychology professor Dr. Marcel Just. He spent decades developing a sophisticated system to try and read our minds, and now he's making a breakthrough into suicidal thinking.
We found that there were certain concepts that were altered in people who thought about suicide, and our method was able to detect those differences and analyze exactly what the differences consist of.
That method begins with a sophisticated piece of equipment, a functional MRI.
With fMRI, you see a picture of the brain's activities.
So you're saying every thought idea in our brain has its own specific pattern?
Yes, and what's really, I think, fascinating and relatively new is the patterns are similar across people.
Unless you have suicidal thoughts, then they're altered.
That's what psychiatric illnesses do. They change the way you think, and this method can, I think, identify those changes.
These images show two people thinking about the word death. This one has thought about suicide, this one has not. The colors represent brain neurons.
And when you see dark blue, that means very little firing.
And the red is telling you
That you get activation related to self-thinking when they're thinking about death. But among people who have made an attempt, you see even more of this dark red.
34 people took part in his latest study. 17 of them never had suicidal thoughts, but the other 17 had. And over half of those 17 had even attempted suicide in the past. These second-by-second snapshots show clear differences in the brain patterns when the participants were asked to think about different concepts like carefree, praise, and death. This is
our thought library.
Those snapshots were then analyzed by this complex computer server, storing hundreds of thoughts by hundreds of people with the power to search for unique patterns.
We can tell whether somebody's feeling anger or happiness or sadness. We can tell what number a person's thinking. We can tell what topic a person is reading a paragraph about.
Dr. Just's method was 90% accurate in determining who had past suicidal thoughts and attempts. How might Dr. Just's research change the future of suicide?
If we could understand the neurobiology underlying the drive to harm oneself, then we would be able to design better therapies aimed at reducing that desire. The treatments that we have now don't work all that well.
Dr. Joshua Gordon, director of the National Institute of Mental Health, thinks Dr. Just's work could lead to more effective treatment. So potentially in 10 years, I might go to the doctor's office, electrodes are put on my brain, they will be able to tell whether I have a mental illness, whether I'm suicidal. Possibly.
That's slightly optimistic, but not impossible, maybe 20 years.
The National Institute.
Okay, so that was it. And maybe at this moment, talk together who is next to you. So far, we've been talking about all the different brain development and behaviors, right? Yeah. So here, when we're thinking about brain, and inside the function and all things, right? So through maybe PET scan and functional MRI, people maybe assume that person have a suicidal ideation or not. Yeah, I think that's really amazing. Yeah, but maybe it says like 10 years and in 20 years, we are not sure when clearly, but we can kind of refer those information, but not totally trust those, right? Because it can be wrong and maybe judge other people in a wrong way too, right? So that's really interesting. So at this moment, I'm going to give a chance to talk together. Maybe we are wrap it up, this chapter 2. Anything you kind of remember as a fascinating, like a studying brain, brain development and behavior. Anything you remember through this chapter, just talk to each other who is next to you, okay? I will give you a chance to talk to each other. Which one is like a fascinating and maybe you never thought about in that way, but I think this is really cool. So talk together who is next to you, okay? This is the one. Okay, maybe we can talk together. Anybody, would you like to share? What's your impression, kind of learning about this chapter, and maybe, wow, that's, maybe I've never thought about it, or maybe, yeah, that's really cool to know. Yeah? Brain and behavior and our function. It was pretty cool, right? Yeah, good. So we will do one activity before leaving this chapter. It will be one activity. Yeah. So we do have a pairs. Maybe two people can be one team. Anyway, we are gonna do both of you. So let's follow me here. So here one person will be experimenter and the other person will be the subject. But let's pretend like maybe subject, both of us, and both of the case, right? So number one, let's follow. Number one, subject should extend both arms in front of the body. Can you do that? Yes, yes. So straight out and parallel to one another, and rotate the hand so that palms face away from one another. Yes, yes, very good. And number three, cross hands over and clasps, yeah, palm to palm, yeah. Then rotate arms with hands clasped down and back toward the body and up. So kind of palm to palm this way, and then can you make a up? Yeah, that's it. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Yeah, I will show one more time. So here, your two arms here, straight out and parallel, and then rotate your hands, the palms face away from one another. And then clasp here, and then rotate the arms, and then up. Very good. So as an experimenter, you do not touch the finger, but can you point? Can you point the finger? So for example, Josh, can you show your finger? Yeah. Oh, so maybe I didn't touch anything, so maybe can you maybe make it those regular? Yes. And then can you lift this one? Oh, you are doing very good. Can you lift this one?
Which one?
That one. Okay. Josh is really doing well. Okay, so can you lift this one? Oh. Okay, can you lift this one? Yes, yeah. So maybe each other, maybe can you check one person become an experimenter and the other person become subject and do together. So Josh, since you're very good, maybe you can point mine. So do not touch it, but just kind of point above it.
Let's do this one.
Okay.
This one?
This one? Okay. It takes time, but I made it.
Do the thumbs count?
Yeah.
Let's do this one.
No. Okay, it's your turn. It's hard. So here, not this, but like this, and then face up. Yes, very good. Can you touch this? Can you point out? Yes, you're very good. Like lifting this. I think you are very expert. This one.
Wrong.
You're very good. Here. Very good. You're very good. Okay.
That's the one that I couldn't do.
Okay. Would you like to try, Caleb? Yeah?
Wow, that kind of hurt my hands.
Oh, you cannot do those. How about tea? Maybe I'm going to point for you. So can you lift this one? Yeah, you're doing good. Can you lift this? I think you're an expert. Can you lift this? Next time. But this one? Okay. Grace, maybe can you do work together with the tea? Yeah, that would be fun. Okay, let me point. Who would you be? Would you like to? Can you lift this? You're doing good. This one? Oh, you're an expert. This? Okay. Gabe is really good. Okay, let me do for you. Can you lift this? You're doing good. This one? Yeah. And this one? Okay. Did you try kind of lifting the fingers? Let me try. Okay. Can you lift this? Oops, sorry. Okay, can you lift this? Okay. How about this? Okay, you're good. This? Let me do yours. Okay, and then crossover. Yes. Can you lift this? You're doing good. This one?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this? How about you? Can I try on you? Yeah. Can you lift this? You're doing good. How about this? Yeah.
This one?
This one. This one.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. How about Carson? Can I try on yours?
Yeah.
Can you lift this finger?
Oh, that's the wrong one.
How about this one? Yay, very good, very good. Okay, good, good, awesome. Luke, can I try on your hands? Yeah, maybe I can kind of point it out. Can you lift on this?
I can't.
You can't. How about this?
I can't.
Okay, good. Okay, I think this is really interesting and fun because, do you remember our left brain, control our right hemisphere, and our right brain control our left hemisphere too, right? So it kind of, control later. So if you kind of cross over your palms like this, it's kind of unusual position. So your brain maybe can make a mistake easily, yeah, because it's not used to kind of lift your finger in that direction. But that was really cool, yeah, good. So before we go to the next chapter, maybe I'm gonna give you maybe a couple of minutes. You can finish those the in-class assignment, yeah, while you are driving, maybe those stories, yeah, we are gonna share those stories. So maybe you can kind of finish those stories. I will give you a couple of minutes, okay? So work on that, those stories, and then maybe we ready to present, yeah, together, okay? So you're done, the paper, the story? Yes, yeah, be ready to share? Okay, good. Luke, Elia, you are ready to share? Oh, you already did it. Yeah, I remember. You're in front. Yeah, okay, good. You worked with Grace and you kind of been up there. Okay, remember? Yeah. So you're finishing the story? Okay, good. Okay. Kitty, you're working together with someone else? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So maybe you're ready to share. Yes, good. So you got this time? You make your own story? That's good. Okay. So you're kind of ready to, be ready to share? Okay, good. Josh, did you create your own story while you're driving? Okay, good. Awesome. And Samuel and Kim also be ready? Okay, good. So if you work together with somebody else, please make sure put their name too, right? And also, even though you didn't write your whole story on the paper, you need to turn in that paper because in the front portion is you need to write down the definition of each brain function, right? So maybe backside, I worked with Josh. I worked with Kim. Just kind of write down, even though you didn't put the whole story, right? But one person should write whole story at least, right? Yeah. Okay, everybody is done? Anybody you need more time? Raise your hand. Everybody's done? Good, good. So I know some of you want to do more, putting more information. That's totally okay too. The due date of this assignment is next Thursday, not today. Okay, next Thursday. But we are gonna all done chapter 2 today. So if you can give it to me, I'm gonna update your score. Okay, but still, you feel like I need to put more information, I'm not ready. In that sense, that's okay. It's still open. It will be the due date will be next Thursday. Okay, so you feel good? Yeah, feel comfortable? Yeah. Okay, good. Anybody, anything would you like to present to yours, your story? Yes, good, good. Abraham and Truman, if you don't mind. Yeah. Let's listen well, right?
We would be going to Osage Hills State Park, just north of Bartlesville.
Okay.
As we
Maybe I need
get,
to go there. Is it like a state park in Bartlesville?
it's just north of there.
North there. Okay, okay.
Like you drive like 15 minutes out of Bartlesville, and there's a bunch of signs saying where it is.
I see. Okay, thank you.
As we get into the car, we use our hippocampus to remember to put on our seatbelts and to start the car. The temporal lobe processes the sound of the engine starting. Our occipital lobe allows us to perceive the road as we drive, and our cerebellum, frontal lobe, and reticular formation working in tandem to react to hazards as the road guides our way. As the roads change from city to highway to park, we notice minute differences in the road thanks to our parietal lobe. Once you finally make it, our medulla allows us to breathe the fresh air.
Okay, good. Awesome, thank you. Good job. Okay, next group. Yes. Oh, you just, yeah, I can find me. Okay, Trenton and Danica. Yeah, good. Awesome.
We're going to Ireland.
Yay.
We use our frontal lobe to decide on the location and to plan our trip. The day of the flight, we set an alarm that will cause our reticular formation to wake us up. To get to the airport, we use our cerebellum, using our optical and temporal lobes to navigate our way to our flight.
Very good.
We get hungry, so our hypothalamus tells us to eat, which we use our medulla to do. After we board our flight, our parietal lobe and thalamus sense turbulence, and our amygdala activates with fear before calming down and enjoying the flight. Whenever we get off the plane after arriving in Ireland, we use our hippocampus to remember where the hotel is, and the entire time we are using our corpus callosum to connect the two sides of our brain and let them work together.
Okay, good. Awesome. Good job. Next group. Don't be shy. It's gonna be okay. Samuel, would you like to go?
Yeah, we can go.
Okay, good. Kim, yes. Awesome.
Sorry.
Pardon me if I end up making a mistake on pronouncing some of these for the brain.
No problem.
Okay, so, all right. We decided to take a trip to New York for an awesome adventure, frontal lobe. We drive to the airport, check in, and make our way through security, cerebellum. As we board the plane, we feel excited but nervous about flying since we haven't flown in years. Amygdala.
Amygdala, very good.
Once in the air, we doze off and dream about exploring Times Square. The captain's voice announcing their descent wakes us up, reticular formation and temporal lobe. After landing, we step into the airport and quickly notice the energetic noises and bright lights, the thalamus and occipital lobe.
Yes.
Feeling a little chilly in the terminal, we put on our jackets, hypothalamus. We grab a quick bite to eat before heading to the hotel. Medulla and frontal lobe. Later, as we walk through Times Square, we embrace the amazing billboards and the energy of the city, parietal lobe and occipital lobe. While passing a cafe, we recognize somebody we met on the flight. We exchange a quick smile and wave to each other, corpus callosum. Standing in the heart of New York, surrounded by the towering buildings and endless motion, we know that this trip will be something that we will appreciate forever. Hippocampus.
Yay! Okay, good job. Awesome, awesome. Okay, next group. It's gonna be okay. Next group. Okay, yeah. I know you didn't have a partner, but you can do by yourself. Sorry.
We decided to take a fun trip to sunny Miami. We make a to-do list, plan itinerary, and pack suitcase. With all the essentials needed with our frontal lobe, we pack and we balance on our tippy toes to reach the top of the shelf of the closet. This sort of
Cerebellum, very good.
feeling a bit anxious about making it to the airport on time.
Yeah, okay.
Heart rate increases and rushes out the door and loads the suitcase in the car. Medulla. On the flight, get cozy and dream about the beautiful blue waters of the beach, ponds. After landing, pick up the suitcase and exit the airport. Frontal lobe and cerebellum. Once outside, the bright sunlight makes our eyes squint to adjust the occipital lobe.
Occipital lobe, yes.
Here, honking of taxis would help us find the right temporal lobe and rectal formation.
Yeah, rectal formation.
At the hotel, the air conditioner cools down the room. Hypothalamus.
Hypothalamus, yes.
After a long day, get some sleep, wake up excited to explore and enjoy some breakfast, medulla and parietal lobe. And then takes a short stroll on the beach with the sand in between our feet, thalamus and parietal lobe. And meets a friendly couple that recognizes on the plane, corpus callosum. And we'll remember these memories forever, hippocampus.
Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you. Good job. Awesome. Yay. Next group. I'm looking for you. Gabe and Logan, right? I'm so proud of you guys. You make really great stories. Yes.
Alright. Hello. Using the hippocampus, I remembered I needed to drive to Oklahoma City. As I got into the car, my parental lobe and thalamus was going as I felt the cold steering wheel. Turning the key, I heard the engine, which I used my temporal lobe to hear the engine roar to life. Using the frontal lobe, I planned out my route in my cerebellum to drive, to step on the gas and occasionally step on the brake and to turn the steering wheel. Once getting there, my medulla and hypothalamus used my heart rate and my hunger soared. And that is it.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, any group you didn't present yet, please come front. It's okay. So Joy, Dominic, and Carson. They've been working so hard, 3 of them.
We plan on going to Washington, D.C. by car, frontal lobe. Took a deep breath and started the car, medulla. We were nervous to drive so far, amygdala. We stopped a few hours down the road to switch drivers because our driver's eyes were tired, occipital lobe. We heard sirens and had to pull over, temporal lobe and thalamus. After the emergency vehicle passes, we get back on the road and come across an unfamiliar roundabout. We observe the cars in front of us to learn how it works, hippocampus. As we get close to our destination, we decided the car was way too hot, turned off the heater, hypothalamus. Driving into the heart of DC, we look around in awe of the new cityscape, particular formation. As we get out of the car to walk around and close the door of the car with obvious excitement, cerebellum and parietal lobe.
Very good. Awesome, good job. Okay, good. Awesome, very good. So I'm really, like impressed about your whole presentation, and you made a really good story, and you did a great job. So chapter 3, it's more like a relaxing chapter. Yeah. So you take a break and kind of enjoy, all your sensation. Are you ready for this chapter? Yeah. So exam will cover chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Yeah, chapter 3. So how many eyes do we have? 2. But is there anybody you're wearing glasses? Yeah, glasses and contact lenses. Yeah. So maybe I'm wearing contact lenses, so maybe I have 4 eyes. Yeah. How many ears do we have? 2, we do have 2, and 1 nose and 1 mouth. So those in the receptor side, we are going to emphasize and know about the anatomy of eye, ears, and ear smelling and all things. So it will be really fun chapter, but more like a relaxing chapter. Comparing to chapter 2, try to remember all the different functions of brain. This chapter is kind of enjoy, illusion, why people think in that way and why do I interpret it in that way. So it will be really fun chapter. So in this chapter, we are going to talk about fundamentals of sensation. We have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 nose, and 1 mouth, and perception. So this chapter's name is Sensation and Perception. Sensation and perception. So we are going to talk about vision, hearing, smell, and taste, and other senses. Anybody, you smell very well and taste it a little differently, like a smell and taste very sensitive, 1 to 2 people. So maybe you can share your experience with us too. Okay, so first concept is underline sensation. What is sensation? You touch, you try to smell this class, and deep breathing, and try to see, you see on me, and see at the light and all different kind of things, right? So whenever you sense those all the information, try to pick up all the energy in your environment and sending those signals to your brain. So kind of sensing through all your, sensory receptor, you kind of, feeling, those are parties, ability of sensory organs to pick up energy in the environment around your body and transmit it to your brain. That's the sensation. Perception is a little different. So we got those we do see, we do hear, we do, like a smell. Bless you. But depending on you, you may interpret differently. Have you ever seen sky today? Today is a little gloomy and rainy day. Have you maybe look at the sky today? Anybody look at the sky? Okay, several of you. Can you describe what did you see on the sky? Did you see clouds or maybe not?
Just a massive gray.
Just massive, gray kind of, maybe cloudy kind of part. Yeah. How about Caitlin? Same thing. Gray. Yeah, there's gray and maybe not the white cloud at all. No. Yeah. So imagine very sunny, bright night, maybe the day. If you kind of look outside and, imagine those in a big sunshine and sky. And what comes into your mind? For me, all the like a white cloudy part, it's more like cotton candy. I love cotton candy. So maybe looking at there, that's like all the sweet, maybe cotton candy. But some of you feel really tired and looking at those sunshine, those bright sunshine day, and then looking at those clouds, you may say like, that's more like a blanket. I want to sleep, with that on the maybe blanket. So depending on you, even though we see the same thing, interpretation can be different. Yeah. So I want to hear from you, Caitlin and Abram. When you see those gray clouds, what comes into your mind?
Typically, it's I think of rain and the calming sounds that would come from it.
Okay, very good. How about Caitlin?
Just wanting to be lazy.
Okay. But we all made it here, so I'm so glad for that, because I honestly, rainy day is not my favorite day because I feel like I want to stay at home and do not go outside, right? Just like being lazy. But I guess I need to teach and I need to meet my students, so I came here, right? And you the same reason too. So you try to listen to my lecture and then maybe study with other people. But I guess rain makes a little kind of gloomy and not being maybe too much active, but I guess that's the maybe similar feeling, the interpretation about those, cloudiness and then maybe gray, those clouds. So the perception is a little different. It's the interpretation of the sensation. So even though we see the same thing, interpretation can be different. Yeah, okay? So here, we want to talk about absolute threshold, difference threshold, sensory adaptation, and perceptual constancy. So absolute threshold means, underline, the minimum level of stimulus necessary for a person to detect its presence at least half of the time. So everybody be quiet. Do you hear any sound in this classroom? Raise your hand if you kind of hear any sound. Okay, tell me, what kind of sound do you hear?
Like classroom on the other side.
Okay, yeah. And the kind of machine kind of going around like a wing, kind of little light to that sound. And somebody just like, maybe knocking, those sound too, right? So that means absolute threshold is, this is like a minimum amount of like energy you can detect. If somebody say like a tick-tock, have you kind of heard that sound? Yeah, so noticeable, those moment is half chance. You may have like, yes, I hear it. No, I didn't. So those are really least kind of minimum amount of the stimulus. So somebody may hear it, somebody may not. Those are absolute threshold, absolute threshold. So we will give you, we'll talk about some examples. So vision, so maybe 30 miles away. If there's like a candlelight, maybe some of us, we may notice it. Oh, I saw very kind of blurry, but there's a candlelight. I can kind of notice it. But some of us, I do not see it because the possibility is 50%. Some of us, we may notice there's a candlelight 30 miles away versus I don't see, I do not notice it, right? Those are minimum amount of energy and stimulus. You can detect it or not. Those are absolute threshold. And hearing is maybe 20 feet away. And maybe those like a tick-tock sound. Yeah, some of us, we do hear some machine kind of rolling sound, and some of us, we do not notice it, right? So chance is 50%. Maybe notice it or maybe not, right? And smell, based on the textbook information, one puff of a certain perfume, maybe you can detect it in 3-bedroom apartment. So guess what? I brought my perfume. Okay, so let's do it. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna have one puff. So if you smell my perfume, raise your hand. Nobody, right? So I don't know. Maybe here, yes. If you smell my perfume, raise your hand. Okay, yeah. So okay, yeah. So maybe backside. One more time. If you smell my perfume, raise your hand. Okay, good. Okay, now is it smell? Yeah, still? No smell? Little bit? Yeah? Okay, good. Yeah, thank you so much. So, supposed to be only one puff, and this room, maybe some of you detect it, and maybe didn't detect it because that's the absolute threshold. Yeah, but imagine thinking about that. Taste. If there's a 1 teaspoon of sugar in 2 gallons of water, anybody you feel like this is not regular water, this is sugar water. Is anybody can tell that? I know several of you, you're very sensitive to the taste, right? So even like 1 teaspoon of sugar, but 2 gallons of water, Danica Johnston and Avram and Carson, you can say this is not regular water. This is sugar water. Yeah, so those are absolute threshold. But me, I cannot say if it is sugar water or not because the possibility is only 50 chance. Absolute threshold. Okay, the next one is, by the way, did you like the smell of perfume? Yes? I do not like it. So if somebody like it, maybe I can bring every day. You can use. Okay, this is my experimental perfume. Okay, good. Okay, here difference threshold. So this is like a list among smallest change, and you can notice. Anybody, can you differentiate Coca-Cola versus Pepsi-Cola? Yeah? Yeah. So maybe talk together who is next to you. What's the difference between Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, if you can differentiate? Yeah, talk together who is next to you. Yeah, what's the difference? Okay, maybe we can talk together. Anybody, maybe I'm gonna ask you, do you prefer to have Coca-Cola? Raise your hand. Coca-Cola? Okay. How about Pepsi-Cola? Okay. So please tell me what's the difference. I cannot differentiate. Maybe, yeah, anybody, would you like to say? Yeah, Josh.
Coke is really acidic and it feels like it was made to be drank warm.
Oh, okay.
And Pepsi feels like it was made to be drank while it was cold.
Okay. So Danny guys, I agree with you more like that. Okay. Anybody add on that? Yes.
Pepsi, I don't like Pepsi. Pepsi to me tastes like it has like Sweet and Low in it or like a different artificial sugar, and Coke tastes like it doesn't.
Okay, so like a more pure sugar.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody, would you like to add on that? Pepsi versus Coca-Cola? Would you like to add on that, Gaze? Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola?
I noticed how the actual substance of them, the Coke seems more thinner, where Pepsi is more thicker.
Okay, interesting. So for me, I cannot differentiate. Anybody, can you differentiate Diet Coke versus Zero Coke?
Yes.
Yeah? Gosh, how could you differentiate?
I don't know.
My
grandma always grew up, like while I was growing up, she always drank Coke Zero. So that taste is like ingrained in my memory and I can just tell that one.
That's the difference. Okay, good, thank you. So those are different, like a different threshold. It's a subtle and very small amount of difference, but I cannot notice it. But some of you can notice it. It's a different, it's not Pepsi-Cola. This is Coca-Cola. This is like a diet, and this is not. You can tell, right? Yeah. So those are different threshold. And sensory adaptation. I know several of you are very sensitive. Let's just say you had a party, big party during the weekend, yeah. And maybe people, there are so many people, you invited so many people and having fun. Like a pizza and maybe a little bit of a drink and, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, of course, yeah. And, have fun. And on Monday morning, you smell very strange. And it's not that good smell because every kind of mix of food, the trash can smells really awful. Yeah, so when you kind of get into your room, your house, it just smells so bad. But when you kind of stay there, maybe a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes and 10 minutes, even you do not notice anymore. Have you experienced that? Yeah, smells so good, even like bad. It's just kind of used to so quickly. Yeah, those are sensory adaptation. As a human being, it's not like a forever. Even though it's very bad smell or maybe good smell, you just kind of used to it. Sensory adaptation. Yeah, that's the our function. So here, this is a perceptual constancy. This is like a laptop. Yeah, laptop. This is a closed laptop. Can you notice it? That's the computer laptop. Everybody, yeah. But when you kind of open it, maybe 30 degrees, do you still notice that as a laptop? Yeah, even though it's kind of a little different angle. And maybe third one is 45 degree. Can you notice as a laptop as well? Yeah. And the first one is like a 90 degree. Would you recognize that as a laptop? Yeah, I mean, you feel like, oh, that's really weird. I mean, like absolute, like maybe that's kind of nonsense to ask. But imagine it can be maybe interpreted as a different kind of object. But starting from 4-month-old, like a baby, 4-month-old baby, we do have, as a human being, we have a perceptual constancy. Perceptual constancy. So once you see that object, even though the angle can be different, we notice that as a one same object. Those are perceptual constancy. So checking all the information, and bottom up and top down processing. So bottom up means in order to notice my pencil case, maybe you need to touch everything, like maybe 4 sides, and maybe try those are little kind of plastic kind of texture, and a little like a little puppy here, and then maybe you notice, oh, this is my pencil case. Those are more like a bottom up processing. But once you know certain concept, already experience certain information, you're just kind of using top-down approach, top-down processing. So here, let's do this. I want to ask you, what is the number in the middle? Anybody? What is the number in the middle? Can you tell me the number, Abraham?
Isn't it technically 11 and 2?
Okay, 11. Do you see 11? Anybody agree 11? Yes. How about, I think 2? Okay. So when you say 11, how did you read that one? Like 10, 11, 12. Yeah, because we already knew Arabic number. Yeah, we learned it, 1 to 10. Yeah, Arabic number. Yeah, 2 plus 3. Yeah, we know it, 5. Yeah, so we kind of naturally go 10, 11, 12. So maybe that's the 11. So when you say 2, how did you read that one? Anybody, you read 2 as a 2? Yes. Yeah, could you explain to me, Carson?
The Roman numerals going down.
Yeah, so Roman number like 1, 2, 3. Yes, kind of in a vertical way. So I kind of read as a 2. So Abraham got the right answer, 11 and also 2, right? Yeah, so you kind of see like a vertical way and horizontal way too. Yeah, so we are using more top-down processing, because we already knew Roman number and also Arabic number. Yeah, so we are going to watch one short video clip, and you already maybe know about inattentional blindness. Yeah, so try to count. So we are going to watch one short video clip, yeah, and try to see how much pass is going on. We are going to see together. Okay?
Business solution.
Okay, so we are going to watch a short video clip together. Okay, ready?
The monkey business illusion. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the ball.
Okay, so count how many times the players wearing white pass the ball. Okay, be ready? Yeah, be ready? Okay. Oh no. So I know some of you didn't see. So how many times? Anybody? Okay. So yeah, it was 16, but let's read more, little more. Okay. Okay.
The correct answer is 16 passes. Did you spot the gorilla?
Did you spot the gorilla? Yeah? Raise your hand. I spot the gorilla. Okay. Some of you didn't see gorilla? Yeah, if you do not spot the gorilla, raise your hand. Okay, yeah, 2 people. Okay, but there's one more question. Okay.
For people who haven't seen or heard about a video like this before, About half missed the gorilla. If you knew about the gorilla, you probably saw it. But did you notice the curtain changing color or the player on the black team leaving the game?
Anybody notice the curtain has changed the color? Okay, Grace, you noticed it? Yeah. So she's the only one? Anybody notice the curtain has been changed? So let's see again.
Let's rewind and watch it again. Here comes the gorilla, and there goes a player, and the curtain is changing from red to gold. When you're looking for a gorilla, you often miss other unexpected events. And that's the monkey business illusion.
Okay, so I think this is kind of interesting. When we're focusing on one thing, sometimes we miss the gorilla and we miss the changing colors of curtain because we have a tendency to focusing on what we just want to see instead of see the whole picture. So we feel like, yeah, I'm sure it was happened to me, but actually maybe it was not happened to you. Maybe happened to other person. Possibility is there. So we will talk about those illusions a little bit more in this chapter. So here, okay. So next one is, let's talk about our vision. So we're gonna kind of maybe touching vision, hearing, and taste, and smell, and one by one, all the sensory receptors. So first one is vision, your eye and your part, and how do we see, yeah, and how culture influence the vision. So here, it will be on your exam, the anatomy of your eye. Yes, I'm going to explain very detailed information. So imagine in front of you, it's a big soccer ball. Soccer ball, yeah. So we do have eyes, yeah. And then thinking about behind the scene too, because we do have two eyes, and those are more like looking at look like a little soccer ball, kind of in a round shape. Not only like half, you just kind of see the front, but thinking about back side of your eyeball. Okay, good. So light comes to your eye and underline, cornea. So cornea is thin, transparent covering of the eye. Anybody you're wearing contact lenses, raise your hand. I'm wearing contact lenses too, yeah. So imagine in the morning, I always wear wash my contact lens, try to open my eyes and put into on my cornea. Yeah, so those are thin, transparent covering of your eye. So when you wear contact lenses, the lens goes like on that cornea. So those are first kind of area hit the light. So there's like a light and try to see, yeah, and the light hits on you, and the first thin, transparent area is a cornea. So iris is a colored and circular muscle in the center of your eye. So is there anybody you have blue eye? Blue eyes, raise your hand. Okay, blue eyes. Green eyes, raise your hand. Green eyes. Hazel, yeah. Black eye, yeah, okay. How about brown eyes? Okay. Brown eyes are best because I have a brown eye. But anybody, you have a different color? I didn't tell you? Yeah. Okay, what's your color?
My eyes are more of a shade of gray.
Gray to kind of bluish color. So underline. So that's the one colored circular muscle in the center of the eye, iris. So that's why those muscle parts, maybe we can kind of tell your eyes is green, and blue, yellow, gray. Those are muscle kind of part. Those are iris. Pupil is a hole. Yeah, we have a hole. So opening the middle of the iris, and those are like a pupil, dilated and constrict. Those are pupil. Those are little hole, and the hole can be bigger, enlarged, and then shrinken. Whenever you see like a sympathetic nervous system, those pupil will be widened, right? And then parasympathetic, parasympathetic, those pupil will be constrict. Yeah, those are pupil, those are hole. So I will teach the other one. So here, So when you kind of like go through your pupil, those are hole, yeah. Those muscle part, yeah. Those are iris. Iris make you like a blue eye, green eye, hazel, and gray eye, right? And then we have a lens. Those are lens. Those are, if you're looking at the lens, can you show me your index finger, everybody? And then try to kind of, go further and then look at maybe closer. Do you see like a little tension? Yeah, if you kind of go, kind of thinning your lens and thickening your lens. Do you feel like a little pressure? Yeah, so try to focusing on your index finger and then see further and then see closer. And then further thinning your lens and thickening your lens. So probably you may see a little kind of pressure and tension when you kind of see closer. Those are lens, visual accommodation. Visual accommodation. Those are change of the thickness of lens and also maybe thinness of your lens. And then when you wear glasses and contact lenses, probably those shape of lens, maybe we need to be corrected. Try to see like a 20/20 vision. And grandma and grandpa, any of your grandma and grandpa got maybe cataract surgery? Yeah, you know that? Yeah. So cataract means kind of cloudiness on your lens. Yeah. Previously, we tried to remove those cloudiness on your lens, but not anymore. They just changed the lens, got the new artificial new lens. So have a better vision. So those are visual accommodation will happen on the lens. Retina, if it's like a sarcoma, retina is the back side of those eyeball, and you do have a visual receptor. So we can see color vision and maybe darker area. Those are, photoreceptor is there. So fovea is the greatest density of photoreceptors. So those are colors, cones are there, fovea. So whenever you receive those signal and then backside retina, you do have a photoreceptors. So you can recognize those color, difference of colors, and then sending signal through those optic nerve. So, okay. Now I got this information, so I know how does it work. Maybe going through, one object, through the light, those are pupil, and then maybe through the lens, and then backside of your eyeball, retina, does have rod and cones. So here, underline. So how do we see? We do have rod and cones. When the newborn baby is born, they didn't fully develop rod, which means they do not see color. So when you give some like a gift for the newborn infant, sometimes their like a book is only black and white. Black and white is better even because they do not recognize any color. Only black and white. So those are red rod in this picture. It functions better the low and dim light. So it's more like a light, kind of dark kind of shade, gray area. Underline, cones. So we have two photoreceptors, rod and cones. And cones are relating with your color vision. So after 2 months of those infants, they can see all different kind of color. Okay, so cones is relating with the color vision, detect your color. It will be fully developed around 8 weeks. About maybe 2 months later, babies can see all different kind of color. Okay, good. So let's do one activity today, blind spot. So let's try to find the blind spot. So I have little papers here. So try to have one. And you have those paper, Here you go. Maybe I'm gonna choose my paper yellow. Okay, so choose one. Let's try to test your blind spot. Everybody got one? Yeah? Yes? Okay, I'm waiting for you. You can bring me maybe leftover when we are done our class. So everybody got one? Good. So here, if you're looking at here, R and L. Let's can you hide your left eye? Hide your left eye. So now you can see R. Focusing on R. Since you hide the left eye, your right eye is open and looking at R sign. And then can you put like a back and forth? Kind of, back and forth. There is a one spot you do not see L at all. For me here, I do not see L. So try to find your blind spot, looking at the R sign with your right eye, and maybe find your blind spot. So blind spot means it doesn't have any rod or cons. So color, vision, maybe those dim vision, it's not detected. So here, try to go back and forth. For me, it's here. Completely, I do not see L sign. If we're focusing on R, yeah. Anybody, you find your blind spot? Yeah, let's try one more time. This time, can you hide your right eye? Right eye, and you see L, right? So focusing on L with your left eye, because your left eye is open, and then kind of back and forth. For me here, I don't see R at all. I see only L with your left eye. Yeah, maybe if you cannot find well, kind of back and forth a little bit, front and back, and you need to adjust a little bit. For me here, this is like a perfect spot, blind spot. Do you see those blind spots? You need to kind of move a little bit. Yeah? So focusing on, you need to focusing on. With open your left eye, look at the L right here. Try to see only L. Raise your hand, raise your hand. If you see your blind spot, raise your hand. Okay, most of you, yeah. Raise your hand. I cannot see. Maybe I don't have a blind spot. So everybody see, oh, so Caleb, you see all the letters? Oh, you don't have a blind spot. Okay. Is there any better explanation to him? How maybe try to let him experience blind spot? So let's try one more time. Yeah, one more time, Caleb. This time, hide your left eye. Left eye. And now your right eye is open, right? And can you only focusing on letter R? Do not look at the RL on your right side. Focusing on only R on your left side and back and forth. There is a spot you do not see L at all. Do you see Caleb?
I still see L.
You still see L? Okay. Yeah, it's okay. So, did you have a fun little bit about this chapter? So it's more like a relaxing chapter. We will keep talking about this sensation and perception next Tuesday. I know you're busy, but during the weekend, if you can study a little bit, that would be great. We will take an online exam next Friday. So don't worry about it, but if you kind of check on that, that would be good. Yeah. So if you have your paper, please give it to me. I'm going to update your score. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. And also, any leftover paper, can you give it to me? Yeah, you can get one yours. Yeah. Please practice at home and then tell me. Okay? Tell me if you know the blind spot or not. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, you can keep one of those. Yeah, thank you.